Hello everyone, Angelina, Sparkling Diva, and I'm back with another pick a card reading, as you can see. And it's been a while, I think. I've been so incredibly busy, and just life in general, And I've been doing medical rehabilitation for my neck, etc. For 8 months, so I've been really busy with that. It's just finished now, and then the weather picked up, and I had a lot of work in the garden to do, and because it was a total mess last year. And I've been so busy with that, also trying to restore corners, sections in my garden that I created that, well, went to ruins basically over the years because of my physical problems. But some of these sections I want back. So I'm also busy with that, painting and gardening and whatnot. So yeah, and then there is only so many hours in the day to do things, right? And apart from that, and maybe you have noticed that as well yourself, I would assume so. There, yeah, of late this year, but yeah, there have been so many high incoming energies. It's seriously astounding. And so I've also been busy with that, going through processes and things. And yeah, of late I feel an urge to go deeper, which is also to go higher, then, right? Maybe you recognize that as well. And so I've started a course again. I've done some quite intensive workshops online, and came across a course, the Magic Merlin Healer, which I decided to do. So I'm busy with that now. And then you receive all these tools from Merlin tools to heal with and to work with, etc. Absolutely amazing. And I so needed that just, yeah, growing, evolving. And yeah, and that's what the reading is going to be about as well. Like, what do you need at the moment to get further on your path, to evolve further? That kind of thing. So, with the high incoming energies, maybe you feel something as well, like I want to do something, I don't know what, or maybe you need some direction, guidance, or a little bit of just inspiration, stimulation to keep going. So that's what this reading is going to be about. What do you need at this moment in time, whenever you find this reading? Because well, basically all my readings are timeless, except for when it's about a specific full moon or something, of course. So that's this reading. What do you need right now for you, for your processes, for your evolving further, and yeah, all that. And I'm gonna use the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. That's the cards that you see in right now. From that deck, and then I'm going to use a couple of Dragon Oracle cards too. And to see, this is basically the main message. That's why I put them in here for you to see. What you need, that's the answer. And the Dragon cards is more like what can support you with this. And we have 3 choices, and the first one is a Vivianite spruce from Australia. In the middle, I'll put it over there, we have a very light amethyst pyramid, and these are 2 pieces of, I'm not certain how to pronounce that in English, lilac zanite. I think it's an opal quartz, and this is a raw piece, and it's so beautiful. It has all kinds of rainbows if you turn it in the light, and this is a tumbled piece. That's why I put 2 in. Anyhow, make your choice, please. So the Vivianite spruce, the pyramid, light amethyst, very light, and or the lilac zanite from the number 3. So it's 1, 2, 3. Or you can focus on the cards, of course. And again, one numbers 2, and that one is for the numbers 3. So if you make your choice, if need be, pause the video, and I'm gonna meet you at the timestamp of your choice. Numbers 1, your first card. This is your message of what you need right now to, well, get further on your path. That's just a simple way of putting it. We have the Temple of the Rose, ancient power, expression, activation, scarlet codes. And this card is about calling back your power, and also then, once you've done that, expressing your truth, no matter what it is. And so that you can live what you came to live, do what you came to do, right? And so it is actually really a call to action, an activation, and to reclaim your power. And every time you do that, you actually help people who can't reclaim their power. And so you do that for all of these people. And every time that you express yourself authentically and just your truth, then, right? You do that for all those who can or could not express themselves. So with that, by doing that, and you do that yourself, right? And for yourself as well, but you also help other people and the collective. So you're not just doing it for you. It works far deeper. And right now this is becoming more and more important, because you know why? Usually we sort of mask who we are or what we need, what we want. We mask our truth a little bit to make it generally acceptable by people, by other people, by the masses, right? So you might put on a different coat, a different color, so to speak, energetically, when you're at work or when you're with family or when you're wherever, except for at home, and it's getting more and more important that you do not do that anymore, to be yourself regardless. And that might be difficult. That might really be difficult. If you have, I've done that myself as well at work years ago. I was teaching at a Christian school, and a very strict and devout Christian school in that sense as well. And I'm not religious at all. I actually don't like religion much myself, but that's a personal thing. And I did have to adhere to their rules and regulations. I even had to start the first class with a morning prayer. And I found my way around that because I refused to do that. But I did something else that was also okay and along the lines. And but I wasn't myself. I wasn't expressing myself. I wasn't being myself in that sense, right? Because I was already busy with the spiritual at the time. But there was no space for that in that work setting. So I put on a mask. I had to. And otherwise I wouldn't have got on the job even. So, and that's the kind of thing I mean. And with family, we often do a similar thing, because our family, they know us differently, or they want us to be something that suits them, right? That fits in the family, so to speak. And but it might not be you at all. But then still, when you go over to family, when you visit, you put on that old coat, that old mask to just fit in. And that's what this is about. Don't do that anymore. Begin. And like I said, it is difficult, and sometimes it might even be almost impossible. Like in my work situation, had they known that I was busy with spiritual stuff, and at the time witchcraft even, I wouldn't have gotten the job. So I would have gotten in trouble had they known that. And after they employed me anyway. So it might be difficult for you as well. But it's still important that you start doing that more and more. Take baby steps with it. Begin in situations with people where it's a bit less awkward, less tricky, less difficult. Begin slowly. If most settings in your life are far off who you really are, right? And but it is important that you do that. You do that for yourself, so you can become true to yourself, and which is necessary if you want to get to living your purpose and getting on your path, on your path solidly, and making a fast movement that way, right? You can't do that if you keep putting on different coats that actually aren't really you. So you have to step into who you truly are and begin following your true compass, your towards your true north, more and more and more. And by doing that, that's a nice side effect. You also help the collective. So that's what your message is. I hope I didn't get too lengthy, but I like to give a bit of examples, etc., so you have a bit of an idea how or what. Anyhow, we're going to look at the dragons to see what can support you with this. Yeah, what I forgot to say, which came up when I was drawing the cards, is what I felt with the other card, with the Temple of the Rose. Do that, speaking your truth, and expressing your truth, right? Because expressing might be different from speech. It can be in many ways. To do that with love and gentleness, not in a, let's say anger or something, not from a knee-jerk reaction. It has to be from love, and with that soft and gentle, and that also makes it easier to accept by other people. So you get less reaction than that way. But it's also for yourself, it's healthier, right? To express yourself from a sense of calm and conviction and knowing and love, than when you do that from stress and anger and that's for your, also not healthy for you. In any case, we're gonna go to your first dragon card. I have two, and this is the crystal yellow dragon. It's a 5th dimensional dragon, and this dragon works on your crown chakra to help cleanse that and open that further, because it's this card means, if that comes up, that it is time for you to walk a higher spiritual path. But that's going to be very difficult if there's still darkness around your crown chakra, or maybe in your crown chakra. And then you can call on these dragons, or just one crystal yellow dragon, to help with that. But in essence, if you're ready for it, it will likely go by itself. But you can call on them, and they will really remove any darkness or negativity, dense energy, whatever, around your crown chakra, so it can fully open and activate and light up. They help with that as well. And in essence, which is quite beautiful, I didn't know that myself, I must admit, that each of the 1,000 petals of the crown chakra can be extended to connect to a particular star, planet, or universal energy. I didn't know that. But in order for that to happen, it has to be clear and open, and also not have any energies around it, right? Lower energies, So they help with that. And then the message is, like I said, that it's time for you to walk a higher spiritual path, which also means expressing your true self. You can't walk your higher spiritual path if you are not authentic, living authentically, and putting on masks and coats, different, not being yourself all the time. And you can visualize these dragons swirling around your crown chakra to free the petals of it from the lower energies. And then that will help to have these petals open and activate and illuminate. And the dragons help with that. And you can also call on Archangel Jophiel to help with that, because he is in the charge of the crown chakra too, so that you can also call on him. And these dragons they also come to remind you that and to help you and help become a cosmic master, to step on your diamond path. And you hear that more and more these days, the diamond energy, the diamond ray, the diamond path, the new diamond earth. And that energy started coming in, I think, a few years ago. It is absolutely wonderful, loving energy. It's also in a way the energy of Archangel Gabriel. His energy used to be white, but because the energies that are coming in and also people becoming more high vibrational, his ray, his energy transcended, so to speak, but changed into diamond. Unless for people, I suppose, who are still fully in the 3D, because we still have these people too, of course, they wouldn't be able to handle the diamond light yet, I think. But if you are further, if you have already done a lot of growth, then you can tune into his diamond energy, his diamond light. Is glorious. It's not hard. You could think like diamonds are hard, one of the hardest crystals there is on earth, right? But it's a very gentle, soft, clear energy. It's beautiful. You can try to connect to that as well. From the cosmos, call on it, ask it to come in and flow it through all your chakras, and then out your earth star into the planet, into the soil. So it flows through you, and then really feel what it does to you. Then you can feel what I'm talking about. Anyhow, so you are basically ready to grow, to go on, to get further, to become a beacon. And and that's why you also had that message of expressing your truth, no matter how, right? It can be speech, it can be writing, it can be painting, it can be just being, it can be just being you. And by doing that, again, the message that when you meet other people, your light will then automatically light up the keys and codes of mastery in these other people. So again, it's service work. So you're doing it for you and with you and all the stuff, your energy. But at the same time, you're also serving and helping other people without making an effort to do that, really. And that is service work. And the time for that is now too, for the ones who are ready to do this higher service work. Because there's a lot of collective energy coming up at the moment that needs to be transmuted. And the ones who are ready will help with that. That goes by itself. You can't really stop that, And so the service work is doing that automatically. Anyhow, I'm waffling. I'm talking too much. Your second dragon card is the Fire Dragon, and the Fire Dragon, I believe they are fourth dimensional. I have to quickly look to be certain. And you can call on them. Yeah, they're fourth dimensional. You can call on them to burn away anything that doesn't serve you or doesn't serve you anymore, or if there are dense energy that shouldn't be there, you can call on the fire dragons and they will come. They are orange, and as you can see as well, and they will burn away everything that shouldn't be there, whether it's your house, your premises, your aura, it doesn't matter. And you can call on them to do that. And the wonderful thing with the fire dragons, I've done that myself a number of times as well. If you want to have protection around your house or your entire premises, right? So your house and your garden, etc. You can also call on them and ask them to make a wall of fire around your home, around your premises. And that will help keep everything clean and pure, and that nothing that is of a lower vibration can come through. And it's absolutely wonderful. I use that quite regularly myself as well, all around the garden, and my home, and the driveway, everything, my car, just the whole lot of what I've got here, right? And so you can do that as well. But this, I feel, also connects with what I said just now with the other card, with the Temple of the Rose, that you have to speak from calm and love and gentleness and kindness. And if there is anything in your aura that is hindering that, you can call on the fire dragons to burn that away. And so you can then actually come from a place of love and kindness when you start expressing your truth. So yeah, that's the second card, and that's what I have for you. I do hope it resonates. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soonish. Or soon. Bye. Numbers 2, your message, the bud from the Rose Oracle. And, well, this is potential, promise, it's about to happen, keep going. And like any bud, it's like a message that things are about to come to life, right? It's almost there, but it needs more, still needs more tending and a bit more time before it comes to fruition or to full bloom. So it's a card of encouragement and of potential too. Excitement and hope, because like when you're staring at, looking at rosebuds, I do that in early spring, and then there is, I don't know, I can't wait for them to open so I can see the beautiful roses again. And so it's that stage, right? It invites you to keep facing your true north and to show up for what you're being called to create or do. And it also says that your effort hasn't gone unnoticed, so just keep going, because soon you will begin to see your beautiful creation in the world. So it's still happening. It's not there yet, but it's happening. And it's like springtime, like what I said about the rosebud, right? That's early spring. Then the energy of life is an upward moving energy that flows through the plants and the trees and bushes, etc. And this is like that as well. So the energy is already flowing up, and it is going to come out. And you may already be seeing the first signs that things are beginning to come together and work out. And but you're being just called to keep going and to trust that what you've been working toward is happening, it's going to come. So you have to keep tending to it, and just keep your compass on that true north. And before you know it, the bud will begin to unfold and bloom, and then there it is. So you're still in that stage, right? And so if you get impatient or start to lose faith, then don't do that. Know that something is happening. Know that it's almost ripe. It's almost there. So just keep going. You're on the right track. Now we're going to look at your dragon cards. All right, hang on, I'm going to put the other dragon card in as well, just at the same time. 2 dragon cards for you is the message of what can support the other card, the bud. And in all honesty, I think that the bud, and you have to feel for that yourself. You will know yourself if that's the case. That the bud that is to come to bloom, to open, activate, and bloom, is you. It's about you. And if that doesn't resonate, then it's about something else that you wish to manifest, a dream or whatever. But I feel for most of you, it actually is about you. And that's because of these two dragon cards. And let's begin with the Source Dragon. I must admit, I don't think I ever had this one come up in a reading at all. And it's it's a ninth dimensional dragon. It's actually transparent white, but you can't paint that, of course, so they made it a solid color. But it's actually a ninth dimensional transparent white source dragon, and it only exists to attend to the divine will and to turn wishes into reality. And they step down, so they are actually even higher dimensional, but they step down to the ninth dimensional level, so that we can access it when we tune in. And so, in a sense, they act as portals of light through which we can connect with the energies of the infinite, of source. So it's incredibly high vibrational, and I suppose that's why I never had it come up in readings. It really has to be applicable. That's why I also think this bud, this previous, your core message is about you. And the Source Dragon, the card comes up because it's time for you to enjoy a period of stillness with awareness. And breathing has a lot to do with that. So breathe deeply and listen to the silence. Something very sacred is coming into your life, and that's that bud that's going to open up. So it's something really very important. And that it says also that it can be the fruition of a long-held dream to becoming a true master. So again, it could be you, right? And it is being presented to you now, but you have to be diligent and calm and focused, and remember to breathe deeply. Breath is the key to being in the moment, in the now, and that's where the greatest magic can happen. And I just really feel it's about you, this bud. And then when we go to the other dragon, the royal blue and gold dragon, they have a lot of wisdom and with power, imbalance. So it's also important that you are busy with that, having wisdom and your power balanced. And that's why it's still a bud, because it's just a bit of a work in progress still. It's coming, but it needs a bit more. It needs more, is that gestation? Or is that the next phase? I always mix that up. It just needs a bit more energy, a bit more nourishment. That's the word I'm looking for. A bit more nourishment and food to come to bloom. And then the silence, the peace, the quiet that the Source Dragon speaks of helps with finding your wisdom and inner power and balancing that. Right? When you're busy and doing and acting and out in the world, which is mostly 3D still, and it's very difficult. So it's important to regularly take this time to be still and breathe. And because these dragons, they also the royal blue and gold dragon, that is, they light up your gifts and talents in your aura, and it helps you to be able to do something with these things again, to have the courage again to do that, and the support, and to feel worthy, and that you have the dignity to do that, and the power. And most important of all, it is awakening you to who you truly are. It is enabling you to radiate your own special light. So it's really very powerful. And that's still in coming, right? That's why it's not in bloom yet. It just needs a wee bit more time and nourishment. And this dragon also holds this sword of truth, so that Archangel Michael has the sword of truth, right? But he can give it to you, so can this dragon. So that Archangel Michael can enable you to speak and act with truth and honor at all times, right? And it really supports you. And it's important also that you know that you have the support you need to teach divine majesty by example, just to be that. And I think you're going through quite some process here. And these gifts and talents that I mentioned, these are the gifts and talents that you also had in the time of Atlantis. So likely you also have affinity with that, because it is very highly likely that you had a life during Atlantis too. And then by the energies of the royal blue and gold dragon can help bring that back into your awareness, into your energy, right? Sometimes you're not even consciously aware of it, but it's there in your aura, these gifts and these talents, but they're latent. And this dragon can help bring that into awareness, to activate that, to bring back these gifts. And that's why you're still in this budding phase, I think. Or if it's a project or long-held dream or whatever, then that's why it's not quite there yet to flower. It just takes a little bit more time. So what can help that is what these dragons say. It's taking moments of stillness, quietness, of quiet, and breathing and being in the moment, and trying to feel the balance between your inner wisdom and guidance and your power, right? So I hope that makes sense to you, and I'm actually pretty impressed by this source dragon coming up. It's pretty amazing. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again with another reading. Bye. Oh, it's not your crystal, number 3. I'm so sorry. Let's put them here. Your lilac zanite. I'm not so sorry to pronounce it. Your message is the card Sophia. And Sophia is a very high energy, and she is basically the holder of the divine plan, and it's the intelligence that tells the rose when to open or a daisy to close at night when the light has gone, the sun has gone, or sunflowers to turn with the sun, with the light, and or the planet how to spin. And that same intelligence also exists within you, in all your cells, and it's your blueprint, right? And the message of this card is that try to, well, not try actually, but it often takes a bit of effort, right? To trust that intelligence, the intelligence that brought you here, and to have faith that the blueprint of your destiny is already known. And just think about what dreams do you have that maybe you don't tell anyone about. What do you want to say yes to? What do you want to create? What makes your heart jump for joy? And Sophia holds the blueprint of creation, and you can call on her to guide you, and just rest and trust, have faith in the intelligence that exists within your cells. trust that you know what to do. And again, that can be quite difficult because then we have to shut down our thinking mind that is usually running us during, well, the day. And much of that is from the subconscious, old programs and old stuff and hurts and things, and that make us do the things we do. And you have to quiet that voice in order to get to this quiet space of trust and knowing that your cells hold all that you need to do or know, or also they also hold the wisdom and the ability to heal. The body knows, your cells know what to do. So if you're suffering with an ailment or an illness, your cells know what they should do to change that around, or to change for the better, and to hold light, to get in the light, and to do exactly what's needed to bring alleviation or healing. But then you have to shut down, even if temporarily, this voice, this ego, this mind, to feel that, or to even come to trusting that. And so that's also, trust that you know what to do, that your cells know what to do. Trust the blueprint within, and allow the seeds of your destiny to guide you. Because if you get out of the way with your ego, with your mind, then your destiny can begin to guide you by giving you signs, and it will just guide you in the right direction, that you meet the right people all of a sudden, and maybe lose touch with the ones that are not in the right direction, and that. And the rose transmission of this is kind of like an affirmation. I trust in the divine plan, activate the intelligence within my cells, and unlock and act on my most expansive destiny now. So I'll repeat that. I trust in the divine plan, activate the intelligence within my cells, and unlock and act on my most expansive destiny now. Right, now we're going to go to your dragon cards to find out what can support this. We have the Kuan Yin's pink dragon and the earth and water dragon. And Kuan Yin's dragon is a 5th dimensional dragon. It's beautiful pink, and it brings firm love to reset your karmic balance. Like Kuan Yin, the goddess of mercy, of love. She's a bit like the Chinese versions of Mary. Very similar. It's not the same, but very similar. And this card basically offers you the opportunity to heal all your relationships, including the ones from past lives. So you can call on these dragons, or Kuan Yin, or both, to cut cords and that are still keeping you connected and tied to other people, whether alive or not, from this life or past lives. And you can just, if you do that, take your time for that, right? Because it can be quite a lot of cords that need to be disconnected, dissolved, and removed from your system. You can even feel it, but even if you don't feel it, just trust that it's happening. And then these dragons, these pale pink dragons of Kuan Yin, will also help you to start seeing with eyes of love. And that becomes easier if all these old cords that shouldn't be connected to you anymore have been dissolved. They don't bring in dense energy, or they don't pull at you or whatever. It's easier when they have gone. So I would indeed advise to do that first, and then start focusing on in your day-to-day life with everyone, everywhere you go, even in the shops, at work, with family and friends, to see everything and everyone through eyes of love. If you catch yourself falling for old routines of judging, or negative thoughts about people or things or yourself, then just catch yourself, learn to notice that, begin to notice it when you do that, and replace that with a couple of positive thoughts about the situation or the person or yourself. So you train yourself into that loving vibe of seeing through love. And your life will change, truly will. And it's just, you have to keep doing it. You have to keep reminding yourself to do it, because it's so easy to slip back in old routines. And yeah, and it says that in as well, that it will enrich your relationships and transform your friendships. It does, because people will feel that when you approach them from love, right? And when you're able to also speak up from love. If someone else hurts you, you can also say that, oh, that doesn't feel good, that hurt me, I don't like that. Right? And you can just say that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually really very good. You don't have to accept that, but do it with love. And it will help you treat people with more greater respect and care and love than ever before. And you will get that back as well. So it's wonderful to do that. And then we go to the Earth and Water Dragon. And so that dragon is fourth dimensional. It holds both these elements, and they synchronize both energies of the earth and water, and also the timing to ensure that things can blossom. And the element of earth enables you to ground your dreams, projects, or what you're doing. Also, what came up with Kuan Yin, right? That the seeing through love, the earth and water dragon can help ground that, so it becomes easier to do that, and to hold on to it, so you don't slip into old routines so easily. And the water element enables you to flow with what you have grounded. Can also be a project, right? And because your card Sophia, the divine plan and blueprint, etc. So it can also be about a specific project where you have to apply these both. So then you ground that. If you call on these dragons, they can help you ground that, and the water element helps you flow with it. Very feminine energy, right? The flowing with. And it also suggests, this card that coming up, that it's time for you to start a new phase in life. Well, both previous cards suggest that, right? That you start trusting that blueprint and in your cells, in your body, and start doing this. Well, that is the beginning of an entirely new phase if you do that in life. And then fresh opportunities may also come up. And so also new, not just opportunities, but also ideas or visions, because your inspiration begins to flow as well. So open up, be ready for that, and to nurture these things, these ideas and visions if they come. And this dragon will also enable you to intuitively know what is right for you and what isn't, and to harness your creativity. They will help you to generate the right conditions to succeed with that. And yeah, and they motivate you, they inspire you to put in the necessary work. So they're very, you might think that these are just fourth dimensional dragons and just the elements, but they're so important, right? The elements are basically also, I think, the building blocks of life. So don't underestimate the power and the beauty of the earth and water dragons. And they also help you to take things lightly. And that's great, right? Especially if you want to stay in this loving vibe and to keep the faith and that you have within what you need, right? Your blueprint. Then it's also important to take things lightly, not to be too serious and too easily offended and all that stuff, because then you flip out of this high vibration. Very important. And yeah, so that's what I have for you. I hope it makes sense to you. And so this is what you can do, basically. This is what supports the Sophia card that we had to begin with, because this is the message, the main message, and this is what supports that. So by doing this, what came up here, you can support that process, and also it will help you to come to get out of your head, out of the mind, out of the thinking, the ego, etc. That will hold you back from trusting that you have the wisdom within, that you have in yourselves what the intelligence of your blueprint, the intelligence of the divine, and so on and so forth. Anyhow, I think it's an absolutely beautiful reading. I hope you're happy with it and that it resonates with you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.